What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily horoscope for Tuesday, August 3rd, 2021. Brian here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Thank you so much for joining me here. Truly appreciate you. No more member site on the website. I decided to cut ties with that project. It was kind of a Sun opposite Saturn kind of moment. I really started that in January with the Sun and Saturn making their conjunction in Aquarius. And over the last 6 months, it's been super cool. I'm so grateful for the ones that joined me over there. I appreciate you all so much. You all know who you are, of course. And so much gratitude and love just for being there and taking part in that experiment with me. But, reach this peak out here of this Sun opposing Saturn in that Sun-Saturn cycle and that opposition, and having to make a choice of what I felt was right for big decisions I've made for my business, for my heart too. And I wanted to put this stuff out here more and get more reach to more people instead of keeping it more exclusive, making it more inclusive, I would say, seemed important. So tried the experiment out, just had to make a change. And I think we're all kind of having to make changes in our life right now. So maybe just hearing that is giving somebody watching this, the confidence to make a big decision that their heart's been guiding them to. And, it could be a change. It could be going back on something you thought was the great experiment in life. Because with Saturn and even Jupiter now back in Aquarius, we are experimenting right now. It's a big experiment of what we're really moving into and what the changes in our reality are and the connections, and is it a full connection, is it half connection, a lot of that. So with the experiment in life comes trial and error, and I'm that's my human design profile basically, is trial and error. I'm a 1-3 investigator martyr, so it's all about trial and error for me. And I just want to encourage people to not get down, beat yourself up if you do try something out that's new and different and it doesn't look like it's working. We have the ability to change these things and to switch things up, and there's a lot of beauty for that. So I hope someone finds value in that, and I hope that you're happy that these horoscopes are back every day. I think 6 a.m. they drop on the East Coast, 3 a.m. on the West Coast. So that plus all the weekly horoscopes, Sun rising. If you want to check those out, they're on the channel now. I dropped the ones for this week too. I figured I would just throw all my weekly content up on the channel now and get the ball rolling back over here. I'm excited to connect with you all once again, instead of just the once a week. Go into the charts, do the thing, be real, speak truth. That's where we're at right now. All right, let's jump into the horoscope for the day. That's what you came for, right? But had to give a little spiel. It's been a while since I've been daily on the tube. All right, we're going to see that Sun come to 11 degrees today. It's going to be there for most of the day before moving to 12 degrees later in the evening. However, hypercritical degree, and this is critical on creative aspects in your life, your self-realization, actualization, the courage to make changes in your life. We have a moon in Gemini, so there is new information that's presenting itself, new ideas. I think things can feel pretty fast and exciting. We're going to see that moon also sextile over to Mercury in Leo. So it's these exciting new ideas, and we're seeing that moon and the North Node, they're both, in Gemini, so the dispositor is Mercury in Leo. I think we're having to really make decisions and choices based on information that our heart is guiding us to, that feels really right, that has that deep resonance within your being of what you want to put out there. And I think, in a sense, it's about being loud. It's about voicing your emotions, communicating really what you want. Leo is just this is what I want. This is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm going to create. It's all about that. And what better time than now to make those decisions, as we're seeing the Sun come off the opposition to Saturn in Aquarius, dealing with responsibilities, dealing with choices we've made over the last 6 months. And like, are they the choice that we really want to make? Are they the one that the heart still wants to go through with? Or are we seeing where we can pivot? Because I look at, Gemini as a great pivot energy. And with the North Node and the moon there, why not make that pivot? We're also seeing Mars starting to really separate off the opposition to Jupiter and in the Virgo here, so not in Leo any longer. So I think that that's really breaking apart, and we're starting to see sort of this big picture of these ideals that we can sort of start to mold and shift and move around and purify through practical work and like the things that we want to do on a daily basis, and like just like a locomotive, just for what you want, for what the heart's taking you towards. We're also going to see that moon square Venus today. So, I think matters of value are in question very deeply for us. So we're having to make a big choice based on the things that we really do value and that have this common sense aspect to them, like very practical, very common sense. What's the facts for the day? What is your heart telling you is the facts? And it's like there's a push, like you got to put it out there. Say it, especially with Mercury here in Leo. I mean, that's a loud Mercury. That's going to tell it how it is. That's going to tell exactly how you're feeling. And with the sextile to the moon, I mean, that's of course communication of emotions and also being able to look at facts and make the right choice that feels comfortable to you. And just of like what's presented, what's real to you right now. Especially with Venus in Virgo where it's at fall position and, things are real right now. Like, what is the most valuable thing in your life? What's up with the people? I think the people are coming up big time. And we're seeing Venus come off the trine to Uranus. So we're seeing like what relationships are exciting, what relationships are going into the future. And we're seeing Mercury also square that Uranus today. So that's a big deal to do today. Very Uranian week. If you watch the weekly, of course, you know that. We're seeing lots of aspects to Uranus this week. Mercury starts it off. Venus is making good aspects, but lots of square points from Leo. I mean, this could be flashes of great insight. This could also be like people getting a little neurotic and crazy because they're not doing the things that they desire that are bringing them the best in life. So it's almost like this moment of feeling mentally paralyzed because you're not doing what your foundation of your soul wants you to do, what your heart wants you to do. You're holding yourself back. So this is breakout of like really knowing the direction that you want to go right now, understanding that direction. And I think it's so like right in front of our face. There's so much with the North Node in Virgo and that Mercury here in Leo, like this is very personal stuff. And we're seeing the sun at 11 degrees, which is hypercritical. It's a very Chiron degree, which I look at it as that, which is very Virgo too, in my opinion. So it's a very hyper analytical degree of self and the things that we've been trying to create, the things that we've been trying to love, the love in life. What is there to love in life? Like we should be hypercritical of those things. Like love the best things, love the things that are going to bring you the most. And I think that's where a lot of flashes of insight do come through because we're dealing with squares from Leo to Uranus. I mean, that's the best of the best. I mean, this is trying to accelerate you towards the absolute best things that you can do for yourself, whether it's money, whether it's love, whether it's relationships, people, groups, like who's really on the tribe, who doesn't think you're crazy. Like that's kind of important these days. Like a lot of people think other people are crazy right now, which is just the way it is. So it's like, but not feeling wounded by that. And we're seeing the sun 1 degree away from the trine over to Chiron, which we saw Mercury trine that yesterday. So I think we're finding a ton of courage right now with that trine between Leo and Aries. It's like, and even though Chiron's involved, I think we're taking steps up the ladder of not feeling so wounded about being in our heart and being an individual and really expressing things. So it's definitely a day of like expression, like big time. And like, I think just telling it how it is, speaking the truth, your truth, the one that you value to your soul, to your heart, and not settling for less. Like settling for less than the best that you can have or that you can give or do today would likely have you feeling a little too stagnant, when I think there's a lot of energy that wants to push for something better, something of change, um, something that's different, like a lot of Uranus squares, something out of the norm, switching it up, going back to YouTube, which I'm happy to do. But I mean, this can be genius ideas coming through when it comes to like the physical world that you want to understand and that you want to figure out and what that future can look like. And by making that change and not being stagnant, but going in the exciting direction, I think you'll start to see like not only are wounds being healed of like your own self authority to forge forward for the life that you want within your heart, but really like spreading that because that's very contagious in itself. So I think we're all getting kind of a level up of power within ourselves right now. And the more we use that power, I think the stronger we'll feel and the less sort of like, lacking of that confidence to make changes, to make decisions, to do the best thing for ourselves as individuals moving forward. And we're going to see the moon come off a trine to Saturn early in the morning. So, we might feel that a little bit in the morning as like this need to make that sort of change for the right connections in life and like have that decision made, own up for the environment and the emotions that you want to feel or the people that you want to be around, or really, laying it out on the table for what you want and what you desire, and not restricting ourselves. Lord knows there's plenty of restriction outside of ourselves right now, so why should we restrict ourselves right now is a good question. And we live in a time of questions, so we should all ask questions, especially questions about what you can do to make your life better in any way. We can always spiral up, we can always make things better. I think today's trying to show that in a very eccentric Uranian way within our own mind. So I hope that it brings you the flash of insight you're looking for. If it's crazy, sort of it's so out there, like I think finding confidence in that instead of thinking that you're crazy could help a lot. But who knows? I mean, Mercury square Uranus is definitely anything could be said. Think about like the news, think about the media right now, like anything could start coming out to try and trick minds, to try and trick people from their Leo energy, their regalness, their capacity to be in their heart. So, I mean, I'll put that out there. Like, we see something crazy in the news every day, but we could start seeing some really crazy stuff in the news. What's the card for the day? Four of Swords reversed. Well, I think it's kind of that energy of like not retreating, not going back in and taking a break, but like taking the information and the insight that shows up today and doing something with it, making that little tweak or that little change, or it could even be a big change in your life that you've really taken in and gotten the download for and understand. Because if it makes sense right now to you, that's all that matters. You just have to go with what makes sense to you. We don't have to have all the answers, but if it just feels right, if it just makes sense, I think now is the time to go out and put that in to work. It is even like, right, the 8/8 Lionsgate portal, which I don't even like pay attention to those, calendar date portals. But astrologically, I mean, we are absolutely in a portal time. So, like I said in the weekly, spiraling up. Let's go and take that accelerator to the next level, understand the things, and then do something with those things from a very creative place. And I think we'll have a very good day today. But we also don't want to be tricked or manipulated into some sort of chaos. Mercury square Uranus can definitely be, it can bring some level of chaos to the mind. And we don't want to be tricked by that. If anything, we want to start our own chaos for something better. I love you all very much. Hope you have a beautiful, beautiful Tuesday, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.